The Wendigo, a name whispered through dark nights and frozen forests. More than a monster, it is hunger incarnate, stalking the edges of human frailty. For centuries, this chilling figure from Native American mythology has haunted the North American wilderness and the minds of those who dared speak its name. Not merely a tale to frighten children, the Wendigo is a terrifying and profound symbol of starvation, of winter's cruelty, of what happens when humanity turns on itself. And even now, its shadow hasn't faded. This legend was born in the icy heartlands of Algonquian-speaking tribes in North America. Think of bitter winters, endless snow, and the ever-present threat of starvation. In these brutal landscapes, the Wendigo emerged both as a story and a warning. Its name morphs as you travel from village to village. Wendigo, Windigo, Wheatigo, Wendikauk. Others call it Shenu or Kiwok, but the dread, that remains the same. You see, when winter bites deep and food runs out, desperation can push people to commit deplorable acts. The Wendigo legend is a shield against such horrors, a way to remind each other to stay human. Cannibalism wasn't just depraved, it was a curse that could turn a starving soul into something monstrous. Yet the Wendigo became more than a myth. Some say it evolved, reflecting the horrors of colonization. As native lands were consumed and cultures devoured, the Wendigo's hunger became more than a myth. As the Ojibwe tribe said, colonization was our Wendigo. Even today, this ancient being speaks of cycles, of loss, of destruction, of greed that echo far beyond the snows. Here's where it gets vivid and wild. Some say that the Wendigo is skeletal, its skin clinging on tightly like frost-bitten parchment, ashen, starved. Others say that the Wendigo grows in size after every victim that it devours, a grotesque giant, yet forever hungry. You can't miss those antlers jutting out from its skull, the pointed ears, or those burning coal-like eyes. Its teeth, like jagged razors, perfect for tearing through flesh. And worse still, they say that it reeks of death, with a breath so foul that it curdles the air. It's not only grotesque, but also deadly. Why? It has strength beyond belief and is as fast as the wind. Its eyes and ears can pierce through the dark of the night. It is said to glide over snow and to even walk on water. But the most haunting of all, it is said to mimic human voices. It calls to you, pretending to be a loved one, luring you into danger. Some say guns work against it. Others whisper, only rituals can end its cursed existence. Some say the first Wendigo was once a human, a hunter, lost to hunger, who turned cannibal to survive. That act sealed his fate. He became a creature of endless craving. Others tell of a warrior who in desperation turned to dark forces, transforming into a Wendigo to save his people, but was later cast out, becoming the thing that he once fought. The Ojibwe tribe tales speak of Wendigos terrorizing entire villages. In one story, a man challenged the beast to a race. He lost. The Wendigo's reign of terror continued until a hero came along, who, guided by a dream, was finally able to end the monster's menace. Central to the Wendigo mythology is the concept of transformation or possession. Humans can become Wendigos when consumed by greed, broken by hunger or cold, or possessed by a Wendigo spirit which is wandering under moments of weakness. Consumption of human flesh will result in transformation, and once transformed, there is no way back. This creature isn't only a fearsome predator, it's what happens when morality decays. The Wendigo myth warns against unchecked selfishness and greed. Its hunger never fades, no matter how much it consumes. Communities use this legend to teach restraint and generosity, because in the unforgiving wild, selfishness kills. Colonialism, capitalism, and environmental exploitation. Modern indigenous voices see the echoes of the Wendigo's hunger in these forces also. Systems that take and are never satisfied. To behave depravedly was to risk monstrous transformation. Cannibalism, greed, and hoarding, all paths to becoming something inhuman. The Wendigo legend ensured that solidarity and survival was maintained in harsh times. Now here's where legend bleeds into reality, or so some say. Western psychiatry gave it a name, Wendigo psychosis, a culture-bound syndrome found amongst Algonquian-speaking populations. Real cases recorded in the 20th century mention people stuck with horrifying delusions, obsessed with cannibalism, and afraid of turning into Wendigos themselves. It starts subtly, depression, nausea, fear of eating, and then spirals into hallucinations, paranoia, and violent outbursts. In advanced cases, individuals may even look at others as potential prey. Tribal traditions called for dire measures, healing ceremonies to purge the spirit, or as an extreme measure, even death to protect the community. Scholars debate this deeply. Was this madness, a culture-bound syndrome born from myth and isolation, or did the myth itself give form to real psychological torment during times of starvation and fear? What's eerie is how uniquely this psychosis is tied to Algonquian culture. Elsewhere, cannibalistic fears do exist, but nowhere else do they weave into life and death like this. But the Wendigo doesn't just haunt campfires and tribal stories anymore. It has slithered into screens, books, and popular culture. From Algernon Blackwood's 1910 novel, The Wendigo, which introduced the beast to Western audiences, to modern indigenous authors like Louis Erdrich and Thomson Highway, who reclaimed it to represent themes of colonialism, historical trauma, and cultural identity. Television, films, and video games, they often show the monster but forget the message. They paint the Wendigo as just horror, missing the scars and warnings carried by generations of storytellers. For many indigenous people today, the Wendigo's hunger remains more real than ever. Colonization and historical trauma travel together. One Ojibwe narrative explains, that insatiable hunger was not only a myth anymore, it became a metaphor. Lands, languages, and families were consumed by a force that was never full. Yet stories of defeating the Wendigo endure. They remind communities of healing, unity, and courage. Even when facing a monstrous hunger, resilience roars back. The Wendigo is no simple monster. It is hunger made flesh, greed walking on two legs. It reminds us that whenever desire devours compassion, we risk turning into monsters ourselves. Whether a cannibal lost in winter, or an empire that devours all it touches. And though centuries have passed, the Wendigo still prowls, not just through North American forests, but through boardrooms, industries, and broken communities. Its lesson is timeless. When we take more than we need, when we consume without care, when we abandon each other For selfish gain, we become hollow, we become monstrous, we become Wendigos. Thanks for watching. This video is the first of a new series that I'm doing on this channel that will cover folk tales, mythology, and legends from history from all over the world. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. If you found the video valuable, hit that like button. For more history and mystery related content, stay tuned to this channel and I will see you next time.